everyone! Today I am going to be showing you the fine liner and water technique, which is this technique here. So it's a bit of a freer technique. It's less to do with adding tone and more just going with it and creating more interesting shapes depending on the pens you use and how thick the lines are. So this is my example here, and I'm going to show you what pens to work with and how to get this kind of effect. So I'm just going to show you what happens when you add different amounts of pen. Now, when you're looking for a pen, you need to make sure it's not water resistant. So these ones, they do smudge when add water to them, so you just need to check that that's what happens. And we're going to be working in a black pen, although you can work in colour, but it's not as good, but I will show you that as well. First of all, this barrel pen. So I'm just going to do a few test pieces, one with just one line, one with just a thicker line, and then one with 3 lines together. So 1 line, 2 lines, and then 3 lines together. And I'll do the same with the thinner, just handwriting pen. And then I'll show you what one of the colour pens looks like as well. So the basic technique is you add water onto the line and blend it downwards or around it to create some interesting marks. I'm going to be using this size paintbrush and I'm just going to show you what it does. So this is 1 line, so I'm just going to put it on the line and then bring it down. So quite a faded technique there. And the next one, so you can see automatically that is a bit darker. The 3 together is darker again. And then with the handwriting pen, the colour ones do smudge, but just not as much. Yeah, so the green one doesn't do it. So it is the more pigmented colours, they work better with this. So that's the basic technique. So what I've got here is the Sprite logo, which I have rubbed out, so I've just got the outline. And the idea is that I'm going to go around the outline of the Sprite, trying a double or triple line, and then I'll do the blending bit. So I'm just going to draw around the outline of it now. So still take your time to get it neat. I'm going to leave the letters white and then do the background with the pen. So once you've done the main letters, you might then need to go back and just neaten and sharpen any edges. Make sure you've got a nice amount of ink, the sections. You could also add a section of cross hatching if you wanted, so that would add a bit more texture to it. So cross hatching is like a hashtag, lines going one way and lines going the other way, and then when you put water on it, it will blur but also leave the texture behind. So that might also be something you want to add to your piece. So I'm going to try adding that up at the top here. Okay, then I'm going to add the water. It's really important that once you've added the water, you don't add any more fine liner until it's dry, because it will just drain the pen and it won't work anymore. Okay, so water on my brush. I've literally dipped it and then scraped it off a little bit on the edge of the mug. And I'm going to start at this side and then I'll spin it round. So I'm just placing the water on top of the fine liner and then bringing that down and across. Now it's not blending quite as much as I'd want it to, so I might go back and add some more pen later on. But I am using quite a bit of water on my brush, so it's not a case of having just a damp brush in this case. You're literally dipping your brush in the water and you've still got quite a bit of water on there to make it work better. just going to wait for that to dry a bit, and then I'll add some more to it. You can see how as it dries it's changing colour, and you've got some bits bleeding and the water coming out, and that's just all part of this effect. And that is how you draw with fine liner and water.